Welcome to the Novatime University Video Learning Library. Today we will be talking about the SPA Daily Timesheet. All right, so what we'll do is while everybody's kind of pouring in, I'll go ahead and start talking about the webinar controls, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with, but just in case. Again, the webinar controls, the GoToWebinar controls, you should see something looks like this. You have your minimize and maximize. You can mute and unmute yourself, which I will do at the end for questions and answers. You have your display session full screen, or you can raise your hand to ask questions, which will also be addressed at the end of the call. If you didn't call in with your audio pin, I won't be able to, when I unmute you at the end, I won't be able to hear you. So if you didn't, go ahead and just dial pound, pin, then pound, and into your pin itself. And the pin can be found in here. It says audio, I believe, and you can go ahead and show your audio pin. And if you're using a computer, make sure you have your microphone, otherwise you'll have to call in. Okay? So, without further ado, what we'll do is today, the call is going to be on the SPA Daily Timesheet, and this call is designed and laid out for resellers, pre-sales, and sales professionals who are basically supporting and demonstrating the SPA Daily Timesheet. This particular feature is an add-on feature for customers that are currently using SPA. If they're not using SPA Timesheet, you just got to enable it, and then they'll be able to see this particular add-on. And it's not an additional module. There's not another module turned on. If you have SPA Timesheet turned on, then you'll be able to use this new feature or updated feature on the SPA Daily Timesheet.
For sure, Phone One clients after January 6th, 5,000 update will have them.
And today's agenda, what we're going to do is we're going to show you, we'll give you a brief overview first of what exactly the SPA Daily Timesheet is, which is the daily timesheet in the SPA timesheet. We'll give you a little more info on that. Then we're going to go over the setup and configuration, how to enable it, and shortly after that, give you a brief demonstration, and then at the end, give you some time for the Q&A time frame. So if you have any questions on how it works or any kind of questions or feedback, definitely more than welcome to hear your feedback. All right, so SPA Daily Timesheet. So if you see on the screen already, there's a few things you're going to see is this is where it's going to take place. You're not going to have the prior page with daily timesheet management and express time entry. You're actually going to go straight to the timesheet and use that daily feature there. So this particular one is going to be basically for supervisors and administrators to better manage multiple employees' timesheets by day on one screen. So it allows for a couple things. One of them is effectively manage exceptions by day and also manage the in-out punches or hours by day for multiple employees at a time. And we'll dive in a little more on that in our live demo on how you can take advantage of that. Something else I just mentioned is the daily timesheet, the SPA daily timesheet. The idea is to be replacing the legacy daily timesheet management page, which you can see here on the bottom, and then also to replace the express time entry page, more of a combination now using the SPA daily timesheet, much more enhanced and all in one place.
It's using a SPA technology, which is single page architecture, so that we don't have to bring the entire timesheet back and forth between our computer and the server whenever you make some small changes. So you're not going to see those page refresh. That's the main thing.
Correct, giving a better user experience overall. Next one we're going to jump into is the setup and configuration. So first off, the SPA Daily Timesheet, you have to have SPA enabled. If you don't have the SPA timesheet, the newer timesheet enabled, all you have to do is just go to Company Setup, System Setup, then go to Timesheet, and then go to Miscellaneous. Once you go in there, at the bottom down here, you'll see you have an option. By default, this is on. You just uncheck that, hit your save, and then just log out, log in to refresh your session. And then once that's on, it'll turn on the SPA timesheet.
So today's session is for resellers. Next Wednesday's session will be for customers, and again, we'll refer customers to contact you to get them enabled.
Correct. And then once that's been enabled, you head over to the attendance timesheet page, and then from there, you're going to have your normal timesheet, which you see here, but then you'll notice up at the top there's an added switch. You'll have the daily switch. What you'll do is you'll enable the daily switch itself, and you'll be able to turn on the daily timesheet management from here.
Just a toggle.
Yep, just a toggle switch right on the top. Something else we want to point out is some of the new features. For one, you'll see there's an up-down arrow right here. The up-down arrow is here for you to display this little aspect you can see right below. It shows the days within that pay period. So if you're using weekly, which you can see here, it says pay period. If I was to show weekly and then maybe switch to bi-weekly or semi-monthly, these days will reflect on the fly. So if there's 15 days in there or bi-weekly schedule laid out, then those days will show here. And then you have the option of choosing from the drop-down menu, which can be here. This is the drop-down menu. You can click and you can pick which day, or you can select these options here. You can select which day you want to work on. And now if you notice, different days have numbers and other references here. You have your dates, and then this is, if you're checking for in-out punches or time records, this will show you how many records are on that day. And if you're using the exceptions count, if you're filtering by exceptions and you're going through, same thing, you're going to have the same amount of records, and it's going to show you how many records based on the exception filter you're using are on that day as well. Something else to kind of go over and show you is that also when you're using exceptions, it's always good to make sure you have the schedules in place if you're depending on which exceptions you're using. The miss punch, you don't need a schedule, but if you're looking for early ins or early outs, you want to make sure for sure that you have the schedules in place because it's still required. Okay.
And the selected date, it will be with the yellow box in there.
Correct. And then this will also show you which day you have selected. This isn't just for my presentation. This is the yellow box.
This is not by Paul.
Yes, this isn't added by me. I know it looks like this actually is the box so you know which day is selected. And then I'll show you in the live environment a little bit, but you'll notice also there's a new clipboard right here. It's the copy to clipboard. That particular feature isn't new to the SPA timesheet. It's a newer feature enhancement, but you can use this same feature on the daily timesheet as well, where if you have Dana Jones, just an example, if all these records were blank, but you're still going to see all these employees because these employees are in the database, depending on your employee count that you have being displayed. Now, if Dana Jones was the only one that had a record here, and you wanted to go ahead and copy this particular time record down to the rest, because maybe they all work the exact same time frame, you literally can click the copy clipboard button. It'll highlight in blue, and then you select everybody that it applies to, paste to selected, and save, and that's it. Instead of going through and doing like a multi-add or anything like that, this is right on the fly, and it's not. You can do per employee, of course. You still have that option, but the daily, you're going to have the ability to show and paste to selected for all the specific employees on the screen for that day. All right, so next, as I mentioned, the demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and show you the demonstration in the live environment, and I'll show you a couple scenarios. There's two scenarios I want to show you. One of them being first is the details, so let me go over and show you that first. And just in case, let's log out, log in. Session timeout. Attendance timesheet. Okay, so here's your normal view. You have your regular timesheet. Here's Dana Jones. I'm going to switch on the daily switch here at the top. Just turns on. Now you have all the employees. Now this is just for 12/16. By default, this is the view. Now, if you want a little more information, which I like, more information the better, I actually like clicking on the up-down arrows. It'll populate every day, just as this drop-down menu will, of all the days that are in this current pay period for this particular pay policy that's set up. Now, looking at Dana Jones, let's just, I'm going to go in here to work hours. I'll just do a 9 o'clock, 1600, and let's just go ahead and hit save. Let's put a single record just for reference, and give that a sec to load. Okay, so here it is. It's loaded up. I just realized that, you know what, 3 other people, before I check that, I need to copy hers. So you see I clicked that, the little blue icon. Now it's blue. That means it's selected. And I want to make sure that I copy this over to these 3 people. I want to paste this selected, and then I want to save. And now instead of me going to every person's timesheet one by one, same thing. It's not like this is a much newer feature. What we're trying to show you is how it's integrated with the Spot timesheet now. So this is still familiar to many. If not, this is the daily timesheet feature here. And again, you still have the the other options you can go through in different days. And where are we at here? We're on the 16th. So now on the 16th, there's 4 records, where before we had 0. Okay, so you can go, of course, remember we had mentioned that we can go, 1218. If we wanted to go to 1218, it also updates here. It highlighted this one. And there is 1 record. So let's just show you. Let's go here. Let's pick Edward. Let's put the same day. Well, we're going to be on the daily. So let's go to work hours. Let's just put 1 hour. I want to show you something. Let's hit save. Give it a sec. Okay, so we have the 2 records here, right? And then now look, the count up here updated. So now you have the count itself. And again, this is something you can hide. If you don't want to use it, you just click it. Or if you want to show it, it's, in my opinion, the more information, the better. So this works great. Now, let me show you something else. So let's just go to weekly. Okay, so now the weekly updated. So now it's only showing you the days you can choose from based on this current pay period that I'm in, and it's a weekly layout. And it shows the amount of employees that are down here. Now, something else I want to show while the reseller, this is a reseller, so I can show you a little more advanced stuff here. So I'm going to uncheck in and out and hit OK. Now, we don't have any more in and out times, but
Did you notice in and out columns are not required mandatory
yes,
anymore?
not required, and there's a reason for it. we didn't forget. We did it for a specific reason. So I'm going to pick work hours, and I'm going to put 8. And let's just hit save. I'm going to show you the same example, but with an hourly timesheet layout on a spa layout. So something happened here is, well, for one, this person has, looks like other features turned on in the pay policy. But main goal here is I wanted to show you that we have the work hours. The department is always going to be home group. It automatically adds the override checkbox. You can't uncheck it either because there's no in-out times. But being that we took those columns away, it automatically treats it as an hourly timesheet now. And they can just come in and put the pay code, default, and then the 8 hours. Now, you can also treat this like the hourly where you have the pre-populated. That can also be done. That's just done in the preferences page. That's an easy fix. That's something that you can also use if you're used to having that info there where it's pre-populated and the employee just wants to come in, you can do that. Now, let me go over here to, let's copy this one. And let's just copy to a few other people down here, paste to selected, and hit save. Same thing. So what day are we looking at? We're looking at 24th. So 24th has a total of 5 records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing up here. Thank you for watching the Novatime University Video Learning Library. Today we showed you the SPA Daily Timesheet.